All right. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And this is a part two to a story that I covered a couple of days ago. I talked to you guys about a young woman by the name of Ashlee Jenae. Her real name is Ashlee Robinson, but she went by Ashlee Jenae online. She was dating a white guy, and they had recently got engaged in Africa. Now, she celebrated her birthday and she had her engagement in Africa. And then she ended up with her life basically deleted. Now, according to her newly found fiance, he stated that he, I guess, discovered her to have done self harm to herself. And a lot of people felt like that was ironic. They felt like that was unusual. They didn't think that that made any type of sense, being that on the outside looking in, she looked and appeared to be happy. She was celebrating this new chapter. She had just turned 31, and she had just recently got engaged to who her family described as the love of her life. Now, according to her mom, she did an interview with ABC. She did an interview with TMZ and some other outlets. She said, according to them, they felt as though Ashlee and this guy, Joe, were madly in love. They said that they were inseparable. They said that they were in love, and they could not imagine her harming herself in this manner. Now, as the story broke out and more people started to speak out, it came in that there was reports from the hotel that stated that on the night in question of her losing her life, there was this big argument between her and Joe, and according to hotel staff, they had to be separated. Now, Zanzibar, Tanzania, the authorities out there, they basically stated that they did their investigation and they ruled this as a self-deletion. They claimed that she went to her suitcase and she took articles of clothing out of her suitcase and then, offed herself and strangled her own self with her clothes. And a lot of people listening to that, and they're like, a girl that just celebrated her birthday, just got engaged, you mean to tell me she went into her suitcase, she got a shirt and just strangled herself, and that was it? It didn't make sense for a lot of people, and a lot of different outlets started to pick up the story. It started to get nationwide and global coverage all over. ABC reached out to the family. TMZ reached out to the family. The authorities were contacted in Zanzibar, Tanzania, Zanzibar, where this happened. And people demanded answers. They wanted to know, did y'all talk to Joe? What's going on? And in the new reports, they're stating that they decided to withhold his passport because something wasn't, they needed to question him a little bit more. However, even though they decided to question him and to ask him, some questions, hold his passport, they still say that they don't believe that he did any wrongdoing. Now, the rapper Joe Budden has spoke out about Ashlee and Joe as well. He stated that recently he had them in his company. He said that she came to, I think he had a dinner or something like that. And Ashlee and Joe were in attendance. And according to Joe Budden, he said that they were madly in love, according to him as well. Now, we're going to play the audio of Joe Budden where he's speaking out about this. We're going to play the interview of the family. The father of Ashlee decided to get a GoFundMe and launch a GoFundMe account. And there started to be a lot of people speaking out, and they're like, wait a minute, if you guys are saying that Joe's so wealthy and he's innocent and this is his fiance, why y'all need our coins and why y'all need our money? Now, even Yahoo News did an article about this GoFundMe, and they were like, wait a minute, if he worth 45 million, why y'all want our coins? Now, if he is a person that they can't get a hold of, they can't get any answers out of, and they find him suspicious, they might not want his coin, so I guess it makes sense. But a lot of people are like, wait, she did all these lavish trips, she's going on all these lavish vacations, and she didn't have life insurance. What's it giving? So there has been a lot of conversation surrounding this. Now, in addition to all of the different conversations that people are having about this GoFundMe account, about the interviews that her parents are doing, a lot of people are focusing in on the fact that her mother remarried a white man and is with a white man, and people are surrounding the conversation around her mom's relationship. And on top of that, there are social media pages that are dedicating their time to slandering her any way that they can. Now, people have been pulling up different posts from her social media and vilifying her. People are trying to like smear her name as much as possible. Now, Black men are particularly feeling a type of way because they didn't like a particular tweet that she made where she said that Black men are an embarrassment, right? So a lot of Black men saw that she said that, and they felt very, very upset because they're like, listen, you said that we're embarrassing, but child, look who you trusted, and now what's tea? So there is that aspect of it as well. And like I said, there's this literal page that has dedicated their time to vilifying her as much as possible. They're pulling up as much dirt, as much, like they're scanning Reddit, they're scanning comments, they're pulling videos, they're doing anything that they can to vilify her. And I'm like, well, damn, y'all are doing a bit much. So we're going to get into all of the things some of the things that I was able to uncover. But if you guys are not familiar with this story, you haven't heard about Ashlee. Ashlee is an influencer. She mainly seems like she was on Instagram and TikTok. She would document her life as a model. She would show like, lavish trips that she would go on. And within the last year, she started dating this guy named Joe. Now, Joe is supposedly a CEO of a company called Asymmetric. And according to chatter online, they're claiming that he's wealthy and he has all this money. But I'm going to be honest, I done been around the way, and I've dated different guys, never dated a white guy, never dated outside of my race. But the way that he talks is like the guys who I've dated before who ain't really got a lot of money like that, but they talk a good game and they scamming up the woo-ha. That's kind of what it gives to me. So although a lot of people are claiming that he's so wealthy, he got all this money, I'm not really convinced that he's just really like papered up like that. He sounds like a typical scammer to me. Now, again, I don't know if he got money or not, but I'm not convinced that he's just so wealthy as people are saying just because they went on these trips, if you get what I'm saying. A lot of these scammers, they like to do these lavish trips and go the extra mile to like show off these trips to hook, line, and sinker people into investing in them to like, so because it looks like they got this lavish lifestyle, that's the easier way to get the money rolling from people to, pay into whatever scheme they got going. Again, I don't know if he is papered up. I don't know if he is a scammer. That's just the vibes that I got from looking at him. Now, let me pull up this interview that her family did. And I'm like, child, I was blown away that Yahoo was like, what's tea? Why the family got this GoFundMe? I said, not Yahoo News. Not Yahoo News questioning the family, child. What's it giving? But let me show you guys this interview that they did, and we're gonna get on through a couple of things. Now, I know since I talked about this, there are several YouTubers who are now covering it. Even YouTubers don't even cover this kind of topic. Okay, I'm like, well, damn, everybody talking about Miss Ashlee, honey. And it's a good thing because we want stories like this to be spread out, Hey, let everybody talk about it so that this woman can get justice, whether she like white men or not. She still deserves to get justice, period. Now, if it was reversed and this was a black guy, maybe I'm a little hypocritical because you know, when I see stories like this and it's black men who date white women and then the white women off them and they said disparaging things, I be like, figure it out. But, you know, I don't know. Something about Ashlee, even though I don't date white men, never have, something about her, I just, like, you know, kind of reminds me of myself a little bit. Like, a lot of people are vilifying her for her tweets. Now, some of her posts and her videos that she made, I was like, girl, what are you talking about? What are you saying? But, you know, people are pulling up, like, how she seems a little, like, she pop off at the mouth or whatever. And then so they're using that against her. Like, look at how she act. Look, she pop off at the mouth. And I'm like, well, damn. You know, I pop off at the mouth too. I'll cuss a nigga out in a minute. But, you know, so it's something about her that I just feel like, you know, I want to help bring attention to this story. Now, unfortunately, when there are stories like this, there are a lot of people start covering it and it gets a lot of interest. Then you get the YouTubers who just start lying and making up headlines, making up shit. And that has been coming down my timeline as well. I'm like, where does it say that he was arrested? It doesn't say that. It says that he was questioned, but it very clearly on every outlet said that he was not arrested. But so you're going to have that as well. You're going to have to, when it comes to this story, if you are invested and you want to see justice, some of these YouTubers, when you see a headline on their video that you don't see reported anywhere else, you know, and it sounds too good to be true, sometimes you just got to double check and do like a double Google. You know what I mean? Because this is an important story and you definitely want to make sure that the information that you're getting and you're repeating is not just on one person's YouTube, that other outlets, credible outlets are also, you know, whatever. So anyways, let's go to the interview that the mom did. And then after we go to that interview that the mom did, we're going to go to how people feel about this GoFundMe. And then I'm going to show you what Joe Budden is talking about as well. So let me pull this over here.
Ashlee Robinson, her family is demanding answers after the influencer
and it's kind of low. I can't make it any louder.
During a trip to Africa where she had just been engaged. Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne joining us live in the Satellite Center with more on this heartbreaking story. Cheyenne.
Alicia, well, Ashlee Robinson, she actually was raised locally in South Jersey, and now her death in Zanzibar is making headlines across the world. Well, today we spoke to her family in Delaware who say they aren't getting answers from her fiancé or officials in Tanzania about what happened to her.
Uncertainty, mystery, anger, sadness. It's like a part of me has been taken away.
On April 5th, influencer Ashlee Robinson, who goes by Ashlee Jenae on social media, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before.
We believe that they were in love. We believe that their relationship was genuine.
Ashlee's mother says...
All right, so as you see, that was her mom. And her mom says, listen, we thought that they were in love. We thought that it was genuine because a lot of people started to make Ashlee out to be a gold digger, right? A lot of people were like, oh, he got all this money. She was just in it for the money. She didn't really like him, et cetera, et cetera. And here's her mom basically saying, like, we thought that they were in love. Like, this wasn't one of those.
Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before.
We believe they're...
The audio is only low on this ABC 7 upload. I'm going to show you guys other things. This is not a if I recorded this and then I put it in my editing software, I could raise the levels, but since this is live, the audio, you're just going to have to put in headphones or whatever. It's going to be low. But I'm going to pull up other things throughout this stream. This particular video is just low.
That they were in love. We believe that their relationship was genuine.
Ashlee's mother says she never would have expected that less than a week later, her daughter would be dead On April 8th, she says Ashlee called saying she and her fiancé got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms. The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiancé.
He told me that Ashlee did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Hours later, the luxury hotel the couple was staying at called saying Ashlee passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashlee had an unidentified mark.
All right. So this is the medical report. It says that her pupils were dilated and fixed. And it says that there is an unidentified mark around the neck. And then it says no any wounds seen, not pale, not jaundice. And then it says, according to the husband, he found that she hanged herself on the door. And it's like, now, I'm not a person that has ever attempted to try to do anything like that, but the door, like, okay, like I'm gonna let me find where I'm gonna do this at. The door, I don't know, but according to this report, it's saying that the husband said that she hanged herself on the door.
Around her neck, they wrote, quote, according to the husband, he found she hanged herself on the door with several question marks.
Sometime Jill went back to the room with security, and that's how they found her.
Ashlee was also taken to a second hospital who listed her cause of death as cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation.
She's never done anything that would ever.
So you have this second hospital that says that she had this strangulation and suffocation. Then you had the first medical report that stated that her husband says that he found her hanged with all these question marks. But then you have the Tanzania authorities definitively saying that they ruled out any wrongdoing. Now, one thing that I've never been to Tanzania. I don't know the trustworthiness of their authorities. But one thing I do know about some of these other countries is they can be, you get what I'm saying? A lot of these other countries, because 1 + 1 not equaling 2. Suffocating, she suffocated. He found her, and then she just went and grabbed a shirt, and it was strong enough so that she can hang herself from her door.
Ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
She was not just going to be discarded and forgotten about.
And the family, as you just heard, they are just desperate for information. They tell us that they are requesting surveillance footage from the resort. They also say that they have contacted police, the consulate, and embassy and have not heard back. No Action News, we also tried to contact Ashlee's fiancé, and we also did not get a response. The family says their next steps are going to Zanzibar themselves to try to get answers. We're live in the Satellite Center. Cheyenne Karen, Channel 6, Action News.
All right. So they're going to go to Zanzibar. I would have been already, before I even did an interview with any local authority. I mean, what I would think, okay? Because you never know what you're going to do until you're in that situation. But me as a mom, I would just think that before I sit down with ABC, y'all going to via satellite interview me in Zanzibar once I make it out there. But, you know, I don't know what they have going on. Now, they did an interview with ABC7 where it was Ashlee's mother and father. And then they did another interview with TMZ where it was Ashlee's mother, father, his new wife, and the mother's new husband. And they were like, the three of them were wearing like this cream color that they had in that interview. And then the mom's white husband had on burgundy. And I was like, what's that about? That's a little strange, but hey. Everybody got the memo of the color coordination except for the white man? Or is this like a subliminal thing that y'all trying to tell us? Like, what's going on? What's tea? Let me show y'all a little bit of that one.
Influencer Ashlee Jenae died during a trip to Zanzibar earlier this month, and now her family is demanding answers. Ashlee's final posts on social media were of her celebrating her birthday with giraffes in Tanzania, Africa, and getting engaged to her boyfriend, Joseph McCann. But there's a local report claiming initial investigations determined Ashlee took her own life during the trip after falling out with her fiancé just days after he proposed. Joining me now are Ashlee's parents, Harry and Yolanda, and their spouses. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So local authorities in Zanzibar.
All right, let me move this over a little bit so you can see all of them.
Initially said that Ashlee took her own life, but you guys released a statement saying that her death was suspicious. What do you think happened?
We're not too sure what happened. That's what we're trying to find out. I got 2 emails today from the embassy in Zanzibar, and it said the investigation is still ongoing. That they have not determined the cause of death yet at all, and the investigation is still ongoing and still pending right now.
All right, so the 2 in the middle is the mom and the dad, and then the 2 on the outer is their respective spouses.
So there has nothing official has been released. That's what we're trying to find out. We just want answers.
What was the initial call like when you first learned that your daughter passed away?
The call was shocking and it was devastating and scary, honestly, because we don't know what's going on, what happened.
What did they relay to you at that time?
Well, the communication came to us from the Hotel Zuri Zanzibar, where they were staying. It didn't come from the hospital or from the police.
Have you guys since spoken to authorities or the embassy?
No.
We've had little contact with the embassy, but no, not with the police.
So were you told anything about the manner as to how she passed away or what exactly led up to her passing?
Officially, no, we have not talked to anyone from the police or anybody in the medical field at all. Nothing.
All right. So this is an interview that they did with TMZ, and they were basically saying that, you know, the investigation is still ongoing according to what they know, but then there's other reports that are saying that the investigation has come to like a halt, kind of, where they ruled out Joe as doing any wrongdoings, but they still are questioning him. Now, according to, let me see, is it, no, that's not the article. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so according to BBC, there is an article that they wrote where they state that Joe is being questioned but not a suspect. So it says, partner of U.S. influencer who died in Zanzibar speaking to police as a witness. It says the partner of U.S. influencer Ashlee Robinson, who died last week while on holiday with him on the Tanzanian islands of Zanzibar, has had his passport withheld. The local police said in a statement, Joe McCann, 45, is understood to be speaking to police as a witness. No arrests have been made, and the police had previously told local media that McCann was not suspected of wrongdoing. Zanzibar police had earlier told the BBC that Robinson, 31, known online as Ashlee Jenae, had attempted to take her own life. McCann has not made any public statement on the matter. In a U.S. interview, Robinson's parents said her death in Tanzania doesn't make any sense and we're seeking answers. Investigations into the case are a beautiful person who was supposed to be happy. Let me see. Did my stream? Is my stream still up? Is the stream up? Hold on. I just got an alert that my stream clipped. Is the stream up? Okay. I don't know what that was about. All right, so let me finish reading. I don't know. I'll just start back here. Okay, so it says, the partner of U.S. influencer Ashlee Robinson, who died last week while on holiday with him on the Tanzania islands of Zanzibar, has had his passport withheld, the local police said in a statement. Joe McCann, 45, is understood to be speaking to police as a witness. No arrests have been made, and the police had previously told local media that McCann was not suspected of wrongdoing. Zanzibar police had earlier told the BBC that Robinson, 31, known online as Ashlee Jenae, had attempted to take her own life. McCann has not made any public statement on the matter. In an interview, Robinson's parents said her death in Tanzania doesn't make any sense and we're seeking answers. Investigations into the case are ongoing, including awaiting the official medical examination report from doctors, the police said. Robinson had been found unconscious in her villa and taken to the hospital, where her death was confirmed hours later. Her family said that in a statement, and it said in an interview with the BBC U.S. media partner CBS News, Robinson's parents described their daughter as a light and a beautiful person who was supposed to be happy. She had just celebrated her birthday and had got engaged during the trip, and then she is just gone, her mother Yolanda said. We're confused about how that can change so drastically. The parents said they had heard from McCann 11 hours after the incident that supposedly led to Robinson's death, and not with a lot of detail. They were later told by Zuri Zanzibar, the hotel where the couple had been staying, that she had died. Zanzibar North Uganda Police Chief Benedict told BBC that the couple were reported to have had a misunderstanding, prompting Zuri Zanzibar's management to separate them into different rooms. But in a statement to BBC, the hotel did not confirm details of the case given by the police. It said that the police chief said the case was reported late last Wednesday at a nearby police station after hotel staff raised the alarm over a guest suspected to be suicidal. All right, so they're claiming that Ashlee was suspected to be. Is that what they're saying? All right, so it says, let's read that part again. It said that, all right, so it said the police chief said the case was reported late last Wednesday at a nearby police station after hotel staff raised the alarm over a guest suspected to be. Robinson was then taken to the hospital for treatment that night, but she passed away the following day on April 9th. In a statement, Zuri Zanzibar told the BBC that it was deeply saddened by the tragic incident involving one of our guests. It said it was cooperating with authorities and the U.S. Embassy, but declined to comment further, citing privacy concerns and the need to protect the integrity of the investigations. Offering its condolences, the State Department in Washington confirmed the death of an American in Zanzibar, adding that the administration has no higher priority than the safety and security of Americans. Robinson's parents have said they are cooperating with authorities as the investigation continues. And it says days before her death, Robinson had posted photos and videos from her trip, including one taken at a zoo in Tanzania's northern region of Kilimanjaro. On her Instagram page, followers have been sharing condolences, messages, etc. So this is from the BBC website, and this is what they are citing from what investigation they conducted. Now, as I stated, as a result of her passing and everything, her family decided to create a GoFundMe for her. Now, let me pull up her GoFundMe so that we can read that, and then I'm gonna share with you guys, like I said, what people felt about it. Let me pull up her GoFundMe. 1 second. Where is the link? Hold on. Let me go to GoFundMe. All right. So this is her GoFundMe right here. It says, support the family of Ashlee Robinson. So her real name, like I said, is Ashlee Robinson, but online she went by Ashlee Jenae. They've raised about $48,000 and their goal is $50,000. They've received 836 donations. Now, from their family, it says, many of you reached out asking how you can support our family during this unimaginable time, and we are so grateful for the love and prayers. Our beloved daughter, Ashlee Robinson, traveled to Zanzibar, Africa to celebrate her 31st birthday and got engaged during what should have been a joyful and memorable trip. Just days later, she was found unconscious in her villa at the Zuri Hotel and was rushed to a local hospital where her death was confirmed hours later. What was meant to be a dream became our family's worst nightmare. As we grieve, we are also navigating an ongoing investigation and the challenges of being thousands of miles away while trying to bring Ashlee home with dignity and seek answers. This fund is in response to those asking how to help and will support travel cost arrangements and unexpected expenses during this time. Thank you for standing with our family. So it looks like they're trying to get some flights paid and whatever it's going to cost them to get her back. And so they've amassed $50,000. Maybe they're going to use some of this for maybe a private investigator. I don't know. It doesn't say that, but it looks like they're looking for, travel expenses and unexpected expenses, etc. Now, as I stated, Yahoo posted up a article and they were questioning, what is this GoFundMe about? So this is Yahoo News, and it says, why is Ashlee Jenae's family asking the public for $50,000 when her fiance is worth a reported $45 million? All right. So it says the family members of Ashlee Jenae, who died in Tanzania on April 10th, launched a GoFundMe to raise $50,000 from the general public to assist with funeral expenses as well as costs related to the investigation overseas. The fundraiser was set up by Ashlee's father, Harry Robinson. According to him, the money is to be used to address the unexpected expenses arising from dealing with the tragedy overseas, etc. They're like, once the fundraiser was made public, people began to suspect that it was Ashlee's fiance, Joe. The man is the founder and CEO of Asymmetric Financial, a crypto-focused investment firm, and has approximate net worth of $45 million. All right, so people were wondering, like, what's tea about it? Now, in addition to Yahoo News making an article and asking, why is her family doing this GoFundMe, there were people online who made videos and they said their grievances about this GoFundMe as well. One woman said, listen, I'm not helping. I'm not going to do it. And then another guy, he spoke about it as well. So I'm going to pull up these two videos and then we're going to go to Joe Budden. So hold on. Let me go to this video. 1 second, y'all. Ooh, girl, you do a lot of videos. Hold on. I'm trying to. Hold on 1 second. Okay, she did a lot of videos.
Let me let you hoes know something real quick. You not gold digging, right? You bitches don't be gold diggers. You bitches be survivors, okay? And you bitches just be trying to survive. You don't really be gold diggers. You bitches be needy. And how I know, let me tell y'all where y'all lose the plot every time. When you dig for gold, you leave with gold. It's too many of you bitches leaving with nothing.
Ooh, child, she a lot of bees and all of this and all that. But there was a video she was talking about the GoFundMe.
And I know that you guys take what I say with a grain of salt, and I'm okay with that. But this, when it comes to the Ashlee Jenae situation, there's a lot of questions here. And so this one follower said this question. They said this was what the parents asking for. And I know that you guys take what I say with a grain of salt, and I'm okay with that. But this, when it comes to the Ashlee Jenae situation, there's a lot of questions here. And so this one follower said this question. They said this was what the parents asking for money for the GoFundMe, etc. It said this person said they can miss me with this one. Her family is very dense for even asking. She was out here living a life many dream of. That's right, and no property that can be sold or life insurance. Come on now. And so what happens is, right, there's a parasocial dynamic, and I want you guys to always remember that there's a parasocial dynamic. And what that looks like is you can't be on an Emirates private jet that costs $2,500 for a flight or $3,000, and now your parents are online with a GoFundMe trying to figure out how to be Crime Stoppers. People are not. It's just, you're going to have some people that donate because they care, but also this should be a lesson to all of the girlies out there. Ashlee needs to be a lesson to you guys. Remember what I told you, don't lose the plot. Okay, being a bad bitch to a rich nigga. Don't lose the plot. You understand? This is a red flag. So you mean to tell me, think about it. You got Birkins, you got Chanel bags. You are in places that people dream about going. Your parents this girl's parents have a GoFundMe up now. All
right. So her page is called, hold on, let me bring it over here. Bree, the experience. So she said POV. So let me get this straight. This young woman was living a luxury lifestyle, wearing designer, engaged to a man people say is a cryptocurrency millionaire. And now her family needs a GoFundMe to bring her home and get answers. I'm sorry, but that does not make sense to me at all. Something about this whole situation is not adding up. And that is exactly why people have questions, because when the image being presented is wealth, access, and luxury, but the reality is the family is left scrambling publicly for funds, it raises a whole different kind of concern. And then people are going up to, going off on her, and they said calling the parents dense for their grown child's lifestyles beyond wow. How many of your parents would be able to afford an international flight in this situation? They wouldn't have access to her funds immediately. You have to go to probate for that. Her parents are good people. Please stop, because if this was your cousin, sister, friend, you wouldn't appreciate this. The girl is dead and her parents are trying to figure it out. And then people are also asking why the fiancé not paying for it, etc. And then somebody said Black people is the only race who judge people for everything. Either contribute or be quiet. This is a sad situation. Another person says, I have to say this. Maybe the GoFundMe is for her parents to get to Africa and bring their baby body back to the States. That does not mean they can't bury her. Also, she may have money, but she is deceased and her mother cannot access anything without a death certificate. That does not come until after the funeral. Please pray for her soul and her loved ones. No matter what happened, she didn't deserve it. We as Black women have to do better with judging and learn to pray, because it could be any one of us. And then there are other people who agreed with her and they felt like she was speaking facts. Now, on the flip side of her, there are people who felt as though, like, hey, the family is doing what they had to do as far as this GoFundMe, etc. Let me go to, I think his name is Dab the Ink. Let me pull up his video.
How so many of
y'all got a problem with the girl Ashlee Jenae's family starting to GoFundMe? Why her fiancé ain't paying for it? He rich. I thought she had money. She was on the private jet. If you're not gonna go fund her, then stay out of their business. I mean, that girl didn't die. Y'all the main ones online talking about he killed her. So why would he give money to help them come find him, to come help them crack a case that he guilty from? I believe he did it too, so I used my spidey senses. And I said, well, of course he ain't gonna answer the phone or help them get money to get to Zanzibar to crack the case, because he did it, allegedly. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Stop asking questions that's dumb, putting it all online. That's like O.J. Simpson paying for Nicole Simpson's lawyers in his murder case. Why would he do that? If y'all gonna keep up with this story, y'all gotta use your skills like the little white lady in Murder, She Wrote. Use your skills. Then y'all complaining that the family all had on cream, color coordinated, which was a little odd, I ain't gonna lie. Hey y'all, we gonna all wear cream to the interview. I don't understand that neither, but the real issue is who did it? Not who told everybody to wear cream, but who killed the girl, or did she do it herself? That's the big case we trying to crack. But I would like to know who told all of them to wear cream. I want to know who set that up. Maybe that was her favorite color. I don't know. I don't know the young lady. I've never even seen her before. It's just a sad story. But who told y'all to wear cream? How so many of y'all got a problem with the girl Ashlee Jenae's family?
All right, so that was Dab the Ink. All right, so he was basically responding to the people who felt some type of way about the GoFundMe account, etc. Now, in addition to the conversation that was being had as far as her GoFundMe account, what people felt about it, etc., etc., as I told you guys, the rapper Joe Budden spoke out about her death as well. So Joe Budden, I guess, was a friend of Ashlee's, and in the wake of her passing, he spoke out about her on his podcast. So let me play what Joe Budden had to say.
Real little rest in peace to my girl Ashlee Jenae.
Yes, rest in peace.
The last part, I was kind of battling with the news of her passing, and the details were blurry still, so I wasn't really quite myself. And I didn't want to jump out there with anything because of ongoing investigations and the family grieving and the family mourning, but shortly after that, somebody took to the internet to kind of give the details of this case, right? Ashlee Jenae, 31 years old, goes to Tanzania on a birthday trip with her boyfriend. He proposes on the trip. They look extremely happy, and then the very next day, she's no longer with us. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's crazy to even say.
Word.
I don't even know where to start with this. I don't, honestly. I get how.
All right, so I'm just gonna pause it just to make it transformative. But as you can see, this is Joe Budden speaking about Ashlee on his podcast and how he had to kind of process the information first. Now, what he then goes on to say is how, you know, she was a friend of his, how he was in the company of not only Ashlee, but Joe as well. And he also is going to speak to their relationship and everything.
How this story has like all the makings of like some real good internet fodder, right? Like the white guy, the trip, and just all the details. Mm-hmm. Ashlee Young, they keep calling her like a soft life influencer. They're just saying all of these things. For many of us, this is not just an internet story. This was somebody that was near and dear to our hearts. This is somebody that impacted a lot of lives, touched a lot of people. This is somebody that was popular. Like, people knew Ashlee. Like, she was tangible for many of us. She helped a lot of people get through the pandemic when we was on Clubhouse just acting a fucking fool. But Ashlee was... It also pains me to see how people are kind of speaking about it all on the internet. Mm-hmm. It does.
That was nasty.
But again, this isn't like an internet story for a lot of us. This is our little sister that we lost. And the irony in it is that even in death, she continues to do what she did throughout her life, which was bring people together. Like, if you don't know Ashlee, you couldn't predict where she was going to be or who she was going to be with. She'll be with the fucking crypto niggas one day. She'll be with the Chicago gang niggas one day. She'll be with some fucking nerdy, goofy niggas another day. Like, she had a heart of gold. She was.
I mean, I guess that's one way to describe somebody having a heart of gold. He said she had a heart of gold, you know, and you would think that if somebody says that somebody has like a heart of gold, you would think that they would say something like, you know, that they were generous, they were loving, they were a nice person, they were a ray of light to be around. His definition of her being a heart of gold was one day she with the crypto niggas, one day she with the gangbangers, and one day she with the nerds. And I'm like, that and that she was easy accessible. I'm like, okay, all right, let's hear some more.
Sweet. She just was a guy's girl and a girl's girl somehow. Like, the dudes wanted her and the girls wanted her. Like, her energy was just infectious. She was accepting of us. She was a great wing woman. I ain't gonna hold you. Ashlee was a foodie. Ashlee liked to shop. Ashlee was an R&B head. She was the home girl that your girlfriend would be aware of, and it was cool for y'all to just run to the R&B concert or run to the R&B party, hop on a flight. I think we went to the Tank concert in D.C. when we went to the club afterward. That was the day that they had the dead nigga in the club.
Oh, shit.
Remember they had the dead nigga in the club? Propped up in D.C.? Yeah. Me and Ashlee went to that club. As soon as they took him out of there, boy, it stink. It was a smell in that motherfucker. We had a time in there. And she was making jokes because as popular as she was, as soon as I stepped in, the promoters was offering me bottles and shit. She got us in the club, mind you.
Wow.
She got us in the club, but then the promoters started offering me bottles and all this shit.
Those of you guys in the comments asking, did they know each other? Yes, this is him basically reminiscing on the good times that they had. So one of the times that he's sharing is there was this club event that went viral, and there was a guy who they had his funeral at a club. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he's saying that him and Ashlee went to this club that same night, and like they had a good time after that situation. So he's basically, you know, reminiscing on the times that they shared together.
Shit, and then the fucking girls they took him out of there. Boy, it stink. The R&B head. She was the home girl that your girlfriend would be aware of, and it was cool for y'all to just run to the R&B concert or run to the R&B party, hop on a flight. I think we went to the Tank concert in D.C. when we went to the club afterward. That was the day that they had the dead nigga in the club.
Oh, shit.
Remember they had the dead nigga in the club? Propped up in D.C. Yeah. Me and Ashlee went to that club. As soon as they took him out of there, boy, it stink. It was a smell in that motherfucker. We had a time in there. And she was making jokes because as popular as she was, as soon as I stepped in, the promoters was offering me bottles and shit. She got us in the club, mind you.
Wow.
She got us in the club, but then the promoters started offering me bottles and all this shit. And then the fucking girls was hollering at me and guys was hollering at her, and we just had a time in there. Ashlee would send you the new underground R&B.
Did he say the men were hollering at him and the girls were hollering at her? Oh, like homies?
B song that you had never heard. She would fucking... She was just great. She was great. She touched a lot of us. She impacted a lot of us. She was a sweetheart. The story was reported that she self-transitioned. There's an ongoing investigation into that. I want to be responsible and not just coming on here being accusatory and saying what I think happened. I want the parents to be able to grieve and mourn properly and wait till the investigation is finished to properly vet this thing. Ashlee took a lot of pride in being like a caretaker for her siblings, for her younger sister. Ashlee was a hard worker. Like some of these things that you read about your friend out there. Like Ashlee comes from a 2-parent household. Ashlee was never hard up for, she wasn't never hard up for money. She was a hostess, waitress, model / video girl in Miami, Florida. She would take a flight, come out here and fuck with us at the hookah lounge and then take the first flight smoking to make it back.
Somebody in the comments said, you know that's not what he said. That's what I heard, but that's why y'all could always rewind it back. Sometimes I don't hear correctly. I got to hear it again. You know, if he said the women was hollering at him and the men was hollering at her, then okay, cool. I thought he said the opposite, but anyways, so he is continuing to give her props, and now he's getting to the point to where he's like speaking to her character. You know, she's a caring person. She loved her family. She loved her sister. She, you know, cared about her siblings. And, you know, now he's starting to speak about like the context of, or the contents of her character and the type of person that she was and how she was genuine and how she was like a light to be around and things like that. This is what I was waiting for him to say in the beginning. Like first he started out saying, you know, how she wound the crypto, the thugs, and da-da-da. I'm like, okay, where you going with this? Because, you know, online they're saying that she was, But anyways, let's continue.
Back to work to bang these niggas over the head. Like Ashlee comes from a 2-parent household. Ashlee was never hard up for, she wasn't never hard up for money. She was a hostess, waitress, model / video girl in Miami, Florida. She would take a flight, come out here and fuck with us at the hookah lounge and then take the first flight smoking to make it back to work to bang these niggas over the head that want to come in there and spend all of this fucking money. Like she worked. Reading some of these things about your friend is tough. It's tough, especially when you know that it is untrue. I'm praying for all the people in her life. I'm praying for her friends. I'm praying for her family. I'm praying for her sisters. This story just brings up so many things that I'm already funny about. I've come in here and shared about how I feel about just dying elsewhere. And some of the things that come along with that. There's all types of rumors going around because her boyfriend, he did have some money. He did have some money. There's rumors going around about him paying hospitals and him paying the hotel. I will say the story sounds pretty janky. I'll say that. The story sounds janky.
The story that was initially reported.
The story being reported of they had an argument, had to be separated. Homeboy got his own room. Then he came back and found her hanging, made it back in enough time to take her down from wherever she was hanging from, go to a hospital where they say she still was showing vital signs and had a pulse, and then was pronounced dead in a hospital. It does sound weird.
I didn't make sense to me.
It does sound weird. I'd like to know, if you're telling me that she was hanging herself, I'd like to see this structure. I'd like to see where you're saying this happened from. If you're telling me that happened, homeboy's timing is impeccable to make it there 5 minutes later while she still had vital signs. There's a lot of weird things about this shit that, again, I'm gonna let the investigation play out, but we lost an absolute sweetheart. We lost a great, great, great soul and human being and somebody that niggas know. My faith is in that. Even with all the shit that you're reading out there, as tough as it is, my faith is in too many people were impacted for lies and propaganda to remain relevant.
All right. So Joe goes on to speak about Ashlee, and I'll probably play a little bit more in a second, but speaking of the allegations of Ashlee, like I said, somebody in the comments said that he's making her sound like a working girl. Now, I don't know if she was a working girl or not, but this is not the only time this has come up. Like I told you guys in the beginning, there is a Twitter page dedicated to slandering Ashlee, right? They have these posts where they're alleging that she was a working girl. They're saying that she was an escort. And I don't know that she was or anything. I'm not saying that she was. I'm not saying that. But I'm just sharing the different things around social media. There's this page that is called BM are the prize. And I guess black men are the prize. And they have their photo as Joe. His profile picture is their profile picture. And they are going in on Ashlee. Like, they're going in on her. They're, like I said, they're pulling up anything that they can. They are comparing her to Telbo and the other people who have been losing their lives to white partners. And they're pulling up videos where she was like with Kevin Gates and different things that people are saying, and pulling up everything about Joe and, you know, all types of stuff. They're comparing her to other people who got engaged in Africa, and like a lot of their posts are dedicated to slandering her. I'm gonna pull up a couple of the posts that they posted. They even posted up this thread where black women were disparaging black men. It didn't have anything to do with Ashlee, but they're like trying to like add that in the mix as well. So let me show you a couple of the posts that they have posted up over here, where they are really upset and trying to like say certain particular things. So this Twitter page is called BM are the prize. Like I said, they have Joe as their screensaver, and it says on this post, "My God, this story keeps getting worse and worse." So this is a video of Ashlee and Kevin Gates. And this is where where Kevin Gates says that she's toxic.
How y'all doing? You know, we keeping it organic. Me and my little chocolate Easter bunny. Babe, stop playing. Babe, you know I'm sensitive, babe. We about to get in a lick. This her car. She probably she just came for to pick me up.
Something like, not too crazy.
She from Philly, so you know she crazy. She toxic. She might stab you. You might stab me in my sleep.
I'm not
you
toxic.
told me if I take my hands off, you gonna beat me up.
Because I'm good with my hands.
I ain't about no trouble. I love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful day.
Hey, yo.
How y'all doing?
All right, so in the comments, somebody says, "It's funny how she's been with all types of drug dealers and rappers, but the one that killed her is some random white dude, LMFAO." And then this person says, "Ish is hilarious, an AI success story to be exact." And a lot of black men are going in on her in the comments and finding it funny that, you know, this is the case or whatever. If you go to these people's profiles, it's mostly black men. It's a few black women in here as well, but there are a lot of black men who are basically gloating about the fact that it possibly was Joe that took her life. Now, in addition to that post, they posted another post where it was her in this lingerie. And so this was something that was on her Twitter where she was wearing lingerie. I'm going to move that over. But they also posted this Reddit post as well. And it says the following. It says, they're on Reddit saying she was a known stripper, escort, bottle girl in Miami for years before her Soft Life rebrand. Another Redditor said most of her mutuals on Twitter and Instagram are other nightlife and escort girls from Miami. So her being an escort firmly tracks. Now, I can't confirm that she was. I don't know that she was. Again, I'm just sharing what the chatter is all over social media and what people are saying. They posted up this post that cannot be verified. It's not a verifiable source, but somebody on Reddit says, no one's saying it, so I'll say it. Ashlee may have been an influencer now, but everyone in Miami knows she was a stripper. Joe met her at a party she was literally working the pole at. She danced in his section, and ever since they've kind of gone around the world fighting in luxury hotels for the last year and a half. This wasn't even the first time they became engaged. It was the second. It's also not the first time the police were called to break up one of their fights. He is currently the subject of a financial crime investigation. He was taking profits from investments that were actually at a loss for years and got caught out there for doing it. He's rich, janky, older, has a massive power imbalance with her, and in my opinion, picked her because of that. Who knows what happened that night? May she rest in peace, and may her family find the truth, but this was 100% a very openly sugar baby on steroids situation. Source, I know them personally, and we have many mutual friends. So that is what this post says. Sorry y'all couldn't see it, but if you pause and read, that's what I just read right there. Now, in addition to this person, anonymous person who's claiming that they had some type of knowledge of her, that, you know, he was janky and he was like not really making good investments, there were people who were attaching the rapper Iggy Azalea to Joe as well. So there were people who were attaching Iggy Azalea to Joe McCann, and they were like, oh, you know, did you guys know that he had ties to Iggy Azalea, et cetera, et cetera. And Iggy Azalea spoke out about Joe as well. Now, in some tweets, they were trying to say that Iggy had brand deals or she worked with him. And Iggy clarified, and she said that she stopped being acquaintances with Joe McCann, the guy that is subject to have had involvement with Ashlee and her fiance, because she also claims that he had janky business dealings as well. Let me pull up those posts. I seen that who had posted it. Hold on, give me 1 second to pull it up. It was another YouTuber had screenshots of it. Trent was reading out some of it. So hold on, let me.
You really haven't.
Trent Out Loud had the Iggy Azalea stuff on his page. Let me go to it. He had all the screenshots, so we're just gonna. All right, we're just gonna play just this little piece of Trent speaking about the Iggy Azalea stuff.
For Google, and often said intuition is everything. He just started with Asymmetric over 4 years ago. His toddler is less than 2 years old, and her and this young lady are photographed in the same house. If you look at this entire family history, their comments on politics and race, you're gonna close the case real quickly. I was so bothered by this that I found all this information in 7 minutes. His ex-wife, Shay Jackson, his biggest client was Iggy Azalea. The lifestyle, the looks in his eyes, his attitude pattern, man. Now this comes from a blogger. Iggy Azalea caught wind of this and she replied. Famous rapper Iggy Azalea replied and says that.
All right, so let me pause it. So as you can see, this is Iggy Azalea's page. Her page is called The New Classic. And people were saying that she was Joe's new like one of his biggest clients, according to Trent Out Loud. This is what he's reporting. And he has all of the screenshots on his page. So as you can see right here, Iggy Azalea replied, and she said, "That's incorrect. I have never been a client of Joe's, Joe has never managed any of my investments. I worked with him briefly as he advised on a board for a separate company unrelated to Asymmetric. I also set the board on. He was discovered to have questionable business practices, and everyone I know stopped doing business with him in 2024. People had questions about how he ran his company, Asymmetrics. I'm here just like you after hearing this news today. The whole story is wild. May she rest in peace." So she's saying, listen, he had janky business practices. The other person on X, again, we don't know for sure. We're just reading what people are saying on the internet. People are saying that he had, janky crypto business things as well. And in this video, Trent was basically questioning whether or not, what the fight was over. And he was saying do you think that the fight was over cheating? Do you think that she cheated? He had pulled up some of her videos that showed that she pop off at the mouth or whatever. And then he was like, who you think was the person that cheated? Because, he feels like it was due to cheating. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that it was due to cheating if they were to argue about anything. I think that it probably had something to do with money. They were in a hotel that they said was around $950 a night. And you hear all of this chatter around his janky business dealings. Before I even knew that he had janky business dealings, I was listening to him talking. I'm like, I get scammer vibes. So if I'm going to guess about anything that they got into it about, I'm going to guess that they got into it over money. I think that he's not as wealthy as people are projecting him to be. I do not think that he was rolling in dough. If he has all of these people that are backing out of business dealings with him, if I listen to his video and the media thing that I get is scammer vibes, and they're recently getting engaged. That is a recipe for disaster, like money troubles. You in Africa, you jet setting. I got a certain type of lifestyle to uphold, this, that. I'm going to guess that it has something to do with money. Now, that's not to say that they couldn't be arguing over cheating. That's possible. I mean, she was an it girl, and as you hear Joe Budden speak, and he says she with the Crips, the Bloods, the this, the that, the nerds, the crypto. Joe Budden made it seem like she get around. But, so not to say that it could not have been a possibility, but I'm going to put my money on it being on or being around money, like the argument, because obviously they argued over something, and I'm going to guess, because we don't know. We just having the conversation. May she rest in peace. Sad situation regardless, but I'm going to guess perhaps it had to do something with money or something like that. I don't know. That's just what I feel. That's just what I feel. But a lot of people on her Instagram, before she ever got engaged, and when she was just showing photos of them together, and she was basically stating, this love story on her Instagram, a lot of people thought that he had shifty eyes. A lot of people were warning her that this was a possibility. There were so many people who was saying, girl, you better watch out. You better get out of there. He gonna kill you. And it's so creepy to look back at all of those comments that had this foreshadowing that they felt like it was something in his eyes. Now, according to social media, it appears that when they talk about his wife, there were people who pulled up his tweets from 2021 And in his tweets from 2021, he talked about how he was married to a black woman. So Ashlee's not his first black piece of poo-tang. He allegedly, back in 2021, I don't know if he got the marriage resolved, but there was tweets back in 2021 on his Twitter account that people were able to pull up where he said that he had a black wife, because there were people who were like writing him, and then he had responded to somebody and he was like, well, don't you know that my wife is black? And he had said that he had 2 kids, etc., etc. So people were like, are you still married? Are you not? Are you this? Are you that? You know, so obviously he had a thing for, you know what I'm saying, that brown sugar. But in addition to that, people felt like his eyes were very telling. They felt like he looked evil. You know how there are certain people you can get a read on them and you can kind of sense a little bit about them? There was a lot of people who felt like he looked evil. Now, in addition to the people pulling up the post on her past, a lot of black men were pulling up this particular post on her Instagram as well. There were so many people who were upset at this particular post on her Instagram. And then there was another post that she had posted on her Twitter that people were upset about as well. So if you go to her page, Ashlee Jenae, and you click on her Reels tab, and you go down, there's this post right here where people are saying some of the most evil things in the comments. Okay, they're saying some of the most vile things in the comments. So in this post, she says, men are losing their minds in my comment about an interracial relationship, but I just got my lashes refilled. All right. So this is her looking pretty. She doing her lashes. Like, while y'all mad about this interracial relationship, I'm just focused on getting my lashes done. Well, a lot of black men seen this post and they're saying evil things in the comments. So let me pull up her comments. Now, our very own Stevie J, this is Stevie J. He in the comments as well. Stevie, get out of this lady comments talking mess. But anyways, he talking about, this N-word dead. Another person says, this didn't age well. And then, this was 22 weeks ago. This was before she ended up losing her life. Somebody said, nah, you wrong for using that old man for his money. That man see you as a servant, like you need him. Y'all wild. All the stuff his type of people do to your people, that's tacky. I know you won't reply to me because that's the only way you can succeed in life is to date your slave master. Yikes. This was 22 weeks ago. Another person says, looks like they've been warning her for a long time. Another person says, rest in preference, LOL. This person says, something is definitely wrong with the algorithm. Rest well. Guess who's still here and you're not? Franklin, that was not nice. Franklin, that was very mean. Okay, that was very, very, very mean. Someone says, never seen her content in my life, but now this is on my algorithm. IG is wild. Another person says, the algorithm is sick. I just watched the story today and I had no idea who she was. Then the first video I get fed from her page. Another person says, the algorithm is messy. Another person says, the irony, rest in peace, Ashlee. Another person says, the Undertaker will be doing your lashes now. Child, a mess. People are very mean. So this was nice. You didn't ask for this tragedy to happen, nor did you deserve it. Praying for God to expose the truth of the situation. That was nice. But there are a lot of people who are saying very, very cruel and mean things under her post. Now, this person says they do lashes at the funeral home, ? This person says, I tried to save her life, told her to leave that white boy alone. I seen in his eyes exactly what he was. She could have gotten a real career and obtained what she truly wanted in life. That's what I was telling her. She said I was losing my mind. Maybe y'all should start listening to black men. Now everybody telling me I was right. She knew it. She made this post after my comment of her and her slave master at their ceremony pics. Now he done hung the girl. How ironic. Damn, I guess she'll be refilling her lashes in heaven now. The comments are on another level. Like, truly, there's like thousands of comments on another level. So people are going under that post and saying things. This has 10,000 comments. Her engagement video has 10,000 comments. A lot of people are saying stuff there. But also on her Twitter, if you go on her Twitter, people are pulling up different things that she said on her Twitter, and they are upset about a post that she made where she said that black men are an embarrassment. So, it was quite a while ago. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. So right here, this is where a lot of black men were upset. So she had posted this right here where it says, every day black men wake up and find new ways to embarrass us. So there was a lot of content creators who were like picking up this tweet and they were upset that she said this. And then she had, this where they said outfit fire. What outfit? She dressed like a prosti. So they're talking about that lace bodysuit that she had. And like a lot of men were saying that it was inappropriate. And so she was clapping back at people and she said, and your teeth are rotting from the inside out. You have bigger fish to fry than worried about my outfit. And then somebody said, lost my baby mama / kid's mom to you always wearing lingerie outside, B words. This supposed to be for your old man at home. Why is y'all so thirsty for attention? Yes, you're fine. Yes, the fit is cute, but B, you going to the club? Why the F Jesus? So they were mad that she had that black lace outfit and she just had her like a thong and a bra outside. And then she said, you another N-word with a baby mama, not a wife, worried about me, a B not looking in your direction. Get just another statistic ass on, Pookie, or is it Ray Ray? So people in the comment replied and they start saying stuff like this. So a lot of people have been saying all kind of things. Now, let's be honest here and for a second as it pertains to her tweet about black men being an embarrassment and her sentiment about certain people. But before I get into that, let me put on my lip gloss because let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. So, like I said, there was a lot of people who felt some type of way about what she said, and they felt like, this guy took your life. You said that black men were embarrassment, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'm a person, and I'm going to tell you again, where I myself personally, I have not dated a white man, right? But it's like when you say certain stuff like this and you don't date black men anymore, it kind of feels like from the receiving end that like you're kind of selling out, like, or you feel like you're better than. I am a person who, I still date black men. I'm only attracted to black men, but some of y'all are embarrassing. You know what I mean? But I can understand why, you know, people could feel a particular type of way that she said it, and now she's dating a white man because they feel as though, you know, they feel as though she's shitting on him, you know? I feel as though when it comes to the situation as it pertains to black men, black women, our relationships with each other, a lot of women think that if they date somebody that's not black, that they will get better treatment. Now, I'm a person who knows that all of these N-words, whether they white, black, yellow, or Asian, they can all be dogs and they can all treat you whatever particular way that they want. Okay? However, you know, it's up to you to have discernment on who you date, whether the man is black, white, yellow, or whoever. Now, there are a lot of women who feel as though they don't get a lot of love from black men, especially dark-skinned women. You have a lot of men who prioritize skin tone as value. Now, I look at Ashlee and I think that she is a beautiful girl. I think that she's gorgeous. But let's be honest, even though I think that she's gorgeous, and a lot of other people who, like a lot of other women, think that she's gorgeous as well, when you get out in the real world, especially in Miami and places like that, Miami is a place that's very colorist, very racist, okay, and very discriminatory over skin tone. She was a very melanated woman, and I can see how she can feel as though, you know, hey, you know, she went over there. Now, that's not my sentiment. I don't think that a white man is gonna love me better than a black man, or, oh, because a black man embarrassing, a white man ain't gonna be embarrassing. I look at all of them the same. They all damn embarrassing. I'm just attracted to black men. But I can see how, you know, she look at her mom and she see her mom with her white man, and whether or not her mom's husband is a nice guy, she can seek, you know, refuge in a white man. And you have all of these different forums online where they talk about divesting, and they make it seem like the grass is greener on the other side, and they make it seem like, oh, you know, white is right and things like that. I think what's right is your discernment, you know, like discerning your partner, no matter who it is. I don't think that just because a person is another race, that makes them more right than the other. And also too, another thing that people were doing were they were also pulling up all of the different times that black women have been killed by white men. There was a blog that had pulled up a post, and it basically was of like different times black women have dated white men and they have been unalived, and a lot of black men were like circulating those posts, and they were like circulating those as validation that like if a black woman dates a white man that they're gonna get killed, etc. But I'm going to tell my black women to be cautious of everybody. Don't like look at the post and be like, oh my God, I can't date a white man because he's probably going to kill me. Be cautious of everybody, because we get killed more from our own than anybody else. Like, you can get killed from a white man, you can get killed from a black man. You can get killed from a yellow man. You could get killed from a Mexican man. You could get killed from a Hispanic man. You could get killed from an Indian man. You can get killed from anybody, okay? And I hear a lot of stories, and I've covered a lot of stories of Black women being killed by Black men, and there are a lot of stories of Black women being killed by white men as well, but you just have to use your discernment. Don't ignore the red flags. If you are dating a man that is showing you aggression, showing you violence, showing you volatile, toxic behavior, pay attention to the signs. I've seen stories. There was a story not too long ago. It was a Black woman. She was dating a Black man, and he didn't like her son, right? And he was like being aggressive with her son, and like he didn't want the son in the same bed with them or something like that. It was on the neighborhood talk. And it wasn't until she got out of the relationship with him that she wanted to blast the guy and put him on blast for being mean to her son. And I'm like, bitch, you waited until you wasn't dating him no more to want to put him on blast for being mean to your son. You should have prioritized your son the first fucking time. Put your kid first the first time. And I understand we are in expensive times. You need 2 households to survive, but never prioritize money over your safety. Don't ignore the red flags for a 50-50 split or comfortability. When you see that the man, whether he's white, Black, yellow, Asian, Hispanic, being aggressive, being abusive, whatever, prioritize your livelihood, because there is no one race that is killing people, okay? I am a person who, I watch body cam videos. I watch those, the videos where they, the police interrogations. And there is an uptick from all races that are killing people. Somebody said, keep the same energy for her like you did that Black man that got deleted by his white girlfriend. And you know what? I should keep the same energy, but I'm going to be honest. Even though she said that Black men are an embarrassment, that was the only post that I seen her make that, like, I guess would offend Black men or whatever. But she didn't talk like the other guy talked. Like, she didn't surround herself with just white people. Like, she was still around Black people. She still had Black friends. She still, showed up as a Black woman. That Telbo guy was a complete sellout. You said, here comes the excuses. I mean, sometimes we're hypocritical. I don't know. I don't view her the same. The Telbo guy, he represented himself like he despised all Black people. He felt like we were beneath him, like, as a whole. She did not talk the same way. I've seen people saying that she said that she wanted mixed kids since the 3rd grade. I didn't see that tweet. Show it to me. Show it to me. I seen people talk about that mixed kids tweet, but I didn't see the mixed kid tweet. Show it to me. Matter of fact, let me drop the StreamYard link and hold me accountable. I see the men in the comments. They like, oh no, you lit us up when it came to Telbo, and you ain't holding her the same. Come tell me off, honey. Put me in my place. Okay? Tell me a thing or two about how I need to keep the same energy. Hold on. Let me drop the link. Only thing, don't curse though. You could put me in you could put me in my place, and you could tell me how you feel or whatever. You feel like, girl, keep the same energy, Nick. Don't be say that hot shit you was saying about that man. Let me know all of it. Okay? Tell me where I need to keep the same energy. But just no curse words though. Okay? No cursing. But you know. Let me know. Something. Tell me. Tell me I'm full of shit. Ooh, tell me I'm full of shit. Hold on. Let me drop the link. Because I'm just like, I don't know. Tell me no cursing though, but let me know. Let me know. Click the link. Let me know. But on some real stuff, tell me how y'all feel though, overall. Like, not just, Paige, what's your thoughts?
I always be first. My thoughts, I have different thoughts, but it's like this. Joe Budden, he didn't really do the girl any justice by saying what he said. It was like someone said in the comments, but I couldn't agree with him because I can't get the names and all of that to type really fast. But like someone said in the comments, it was really like he didn't know the girl because he was saying all surface stuff. Like he didn't say anything really, specific about the girl. Like he really knew her. And then he went on to say, she was with this one and that one, different guys. It just didn't really help her reputation. I know she's gone, and I know people in the comments saying, respect the person while she's gone. But I'm like this: if I didn't like you, not while you were here, I'm gonna respect you by not really saying too much. But I am gonna tell the truth and how I felt.
Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. I was telling Nikki to cut it off in the back, but go ahead. Finish what you say.
Yeah, like I might not, I'm not gonna. I didn't know of the girl, the young lady, the woman. I didn't know of her until I was seeing this all over the internet. Like you said, everyone's reporting on it, and I did my own research. The autopsy will be done. As a matter of fact, it was done today. So it's going to take 24 to 48 hours. It's just not looking good for the fiance. He waited 11 whole hours before he even contacted the mother, her parents. But with her, I don't think that I think she would still be alive if she wasn't living that kind of life. Sometimes you got to be careful. Money shouldn't be your motive all the time. It just shouldn't be your motive all the time. And I believe.
According to her mom, she said that she felt like they were in love.
You felt like you all were in love? They were only together for a year. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. Something just doesn't smell right. And I just can't wait when the truth come out, if it comes out, because I understand that he has money. His name is John Can. I hear that he has money, and like someone else said in the comments, he may have paid someone off. They were in Zanzibar. He could have paid someone off to unalive her. We don't know, but I definitely do not believe that it was suicide. I believe that she someone did her in, And it's mighty funny, it's not looking good. Like I said, he waited 11 whole hours, the fiance, to get in touch with anybody, her parents, anything. What are you doing for 11 whole hours? And then, you all had a disagreement, and it was so bad where you all had to be separated in different rooms. So that means that he was barking pretty loud. He was barking back. So to me, that's not a sign of a man who respects a woman. A man that respects a woman, you can have a disagreement, but you're not going to be in there yelling at the top of your lungs where everybody can hear, and whoever separated them in the villa, because they both.
To be fair, it depends on if there's alcohol involved. You know what I mean? Like, they're on vacation, so I'm going to assume that they probably were under the influence. They're celebrating.
I know you playing the devil's advocate, but it's not looking good. Don't blame it on the alcohol. And if you feel like you can't control your emotions, don't drink. I think that
you never curse somebody out off the Henny?
No, I don't even drink Henny. I'm talking about a man. If I'm with a man and I'm a woman, and just any woman, a real man's man, he shouldn't be at the point where he's yelling at the top of his lungs. Now, I'm not saying they can't disagree, but when you're yelling at the top of your lungs, or if it got worse, because it sounded like it got bad enough for them to separate them, that means he was probably putting paws on and everything. They were really at it. And to me, a real man, no matter what color he is, you walk away. That's why, like you said, it doesn't matter what race, what culture. You have different men in different race, different cultures that don't mind, they from a slap the whole tribe. And so it's not just about it's not just about the race. But I do feel like
nobody out. How you get slap a whole tribe in your vocabulary?
That's not cussing. That's you're from the slap a whole tribe. But no, I don't. I feel like this as far as cussing a man out. The reason why I don't cuss
these folks out.
The reason why I don't cuss. Let me land the plane. Let me land the plane, Nicole. And then you can. The reason why I don't cuss a man out or put my hands on a man, because I have sons, and I feel like this. I tell women, don't put your hands on a man if you don't want him putting his hands on you. No one should be putting hands on anyone. Take a walk, but definitely a man. He should have took a walk.
I'm sorry. You don't have to put your hands on a man, but sometimes sometimes they gotta. Sometimes you ain't never needed to curse a nigga out real bad.
Neek, you don't because when he put his hands back on you, like in Baby Boy, even though that was a movie, a man reflex sometimes, and if he punch you and slap you, then you can't really holler, okay, he's wrong, and oh my goodness, he's putting his hands on me. Everybody should keep their hands to themselves. Period. And if you gotta be with someone where y'all can't get along, y'all can't agree to disagree. If y'all gotta be doing all of that hooting and hollering and disturbing neighbors or disturbing people in the villa, you don't need to be together. And you don't need to be together. It's supposed to be emotional maturity. Of course you get upset, but you shouldn't be. Neither one of you should be fighting, and to the point where
No, I agree about the hands part.
It's not a healthy relationship.
Listen, I'm going to just say this one thing, and then I'm going to go to the next person. I don't agree that anybody should put their hands on anyone. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about cursing somebody out. Like, you've never cursed the opposite sex out?
I've done that years ago, and I ended up getting my lip busted. Not saying he was right, but I got my lip busted. I just learned when you get older, you learn. Some people do, some people don't. That it's not about that. I don't want to be in a space where I got to cuss him out. He got to cuss me out. We can have a civilized conversation, but if we got to be doing all that cussing, him calling me out my name, I'm calling him out his name, we don't need to be together.
Pause. Listen, I'm 39, right? So I'm not going to engage in toxic relationships. I'm not advocating for anybody to be in a toxic relationship or to be yelling and cursing with their partner. But what I was looking for was for you to answer me if you've ever had a time where you've had an argument with a man and you agreed. You said yes, you had an argument with a man and he punched you in the mouth. Now,
that was years and years, and that was decades ago. So
right,
yes, I've been there and done that, but it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy, and I realized that it's unhealthy. That's why I'm single now. I don't want to be in that kind of situation anymore.
We know that it's unhealthy. I get that, but I was just trying to speak about.
See, if I would tell the truth, yeah, I'm not trying to get on here and act like I've never done that, but I'm just looking back. It wasn't healthy. I don't, if a man got to be with a woman, then he got to be calling out her name and vice versa. They do not need to be together. Period.
All right. Thank you, Paige.
All right. Love you.
All right. Love you too. Thank you. All right. I was trying to get her because she was saying like, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. I understand that we don't need to be putting our hands on each other. We don't need to be arguing, but I just wanted her to understand that there are times where you might argue with your partner. You know what I mean? That's all I was trying to get her to get at. But then she kept saying like, oh no, you don't do this. You don't do that. And it's like, we get that part that you don't do it, obviously, but she was speaking as if like it never happens or it never would happen or she would never do it or she would never be that type of person. And I'm like, you ain't never argue with a man, That's why what I was trying to get to. Nikki, what's your thoughts? Nikki, going once, going twice. La Serena.
Hello.
La Serena?
I don't know what happened. I could hear you before, but then when you took off Paige, I could not hear you anymore.
Can you hear me now?
Maybe it's my...
All right.
I can't hear you.
Ty?
Hey, Nick.
Hey.
I'm just sitting here listening, and I'm reading the comments at the same time, and I just find it very interesting. First, I'm going to say I am a boy's mom, so I'm going to come from a different perspective, and I understand y'all might not agree. But listening to Paige, I just wanted to point out this key thing before it leaves my thoughts. She keeps saying that she's older and it happened decades ago. I think she might need to understand that the young lady is also young, and the guy is older. So while we're saying that, oh, he could have did this and he could have did that, imagine being that age and being caught up in your emotions in a relationship, regardless of the race, but just being caught up in a relationship and things taking place while you're on a vacation. Emotions are high. We out there, we by ourselves, we feeling a type of way. Who knows? The nigga, he might have broke up with her. You never know. And she might have snapped on him. And he was like, listen, I'd rather be moved to a different room because this shit is getting escalated. You never know. But I do find it interesting that everybody's just like, oh, he did it. Oh, look at his eyes. Oh, he did this. Oh, da, da, da. Like, we don't know these goddamn people.
All right, no curse words though. You starting to go.
My bad. Yes. We don't know these people. But I just find it so weird that everybody is just harping on one side rather than being realistic. Like, I know that I've argued with the guy. I know I've slapped the guy. I know I've gotten slapped before. So it's like, I know that we've all been in situations where emotions are heightened and we might act outside of ourselves. So it's weird for me when I hear people saying, oh, I've never done that. And the man is going to do this. Y'all know good and well where that we be beside ourselves acting a fool.
Somebody in the comments says, so we're excusing toxic mess. Nobody's excusing anybody to be toxic. I just wanted her to be realistic that an argument is not like so far out of the realm. When Paige was talking before I asked her, has she ever argued with a man? She was talking like she would never, ever argue with a man. Like, I would never do that. I would never argue with a man. If you arguing with a man, da-da-da. But then it's like, that's not realistic, though. Like, sometimes you do argue in relationships, and sometimes you are under the influence, and it heightens emotions, or sometimes things do get elevated. Now, I'm not saying for people to put their hands on each other, but to act like an argument could never happen and nobody will never argue and you would never have an argument, I just found that to be not as genuine. That's all. Not that nobody's embracing toxicity or saying that you should be toxic or you should be arguing. I just want, like, if we're going to have a conversation, let's be realistic that couples do argue. Now, that's not saying if you argue, you can strangle somebody or kill somebody or hit somebody. Nobody's saying that. Don't put your hands on nobody. But arguing, sometimes, you argue. But go ahead. Ty, I'm sorry.
What it sounds like to me is that Paige learned. She did what she did and she got popped in her mouth and she learned from that situation, and now she can say what I shouldn't have did or I'll never do this. But the fact of the matter is you did it and you learned from it. So let's just say, I'm sorry that the young lady lost her life, but had it not gone to that extent, and we don't know what extent it went to, it could have been him, could have been the worker, because I'm really thinking about the hotel worker, and his story does not make sense to me at all. I think there's a lot of gaps left out of that hotel worker story. And I think that they need to look more into that. But I don't think anyone's really trying to hear that because they're stuck on the man being the culprit.
All right. Thank you, Ty. Nikki, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neek?
Hey, what's your thoughts?
Hey, okay, so this is, to me, I seen the comments and the messages that these people left about this woman, and it's sad. It is sad and tragic. It's like every time race is put in something, it's like a nanny boo boo gotcha moment. So when a black man gets harmed by a white woman, the black women talk. And all this stuff about resting preference, and that's what you chose and whatever. And then when the black woman gets killed, they say the same thing. My thing is, we as a black community and race, we're terrible. Like you said earlier, the only thing this black woman said is black men embarrass us, which they do. They wake up every day in embarrassing. If you don't believe me, look at the articles. Remember, the vice mayor just got killed by her husband, a black man. Crickets. No black man had nothing to say. When that pastor got killed on Easter by her husband, black men had nothing to say. When that woman got shot because she asked her husband to help her clean up the house before they go on a cruise, black men got nothing to say. But as soon as a black woman talks to a white man, oh, she this and she that, black men do embarrass us. You can't stay out of jail. You get mad when someone gets pregnant by you when you don't use protection. You do embarrass us.
Okay, well, we're not going to say all black men, but some.
Yes, some black men. Like the tailboat, he was saying something about a dog. I do a dog if I do a black woman. What woman said anything about I'd rather do a dog than a black man? That was uncalled for. That Christian Ambassador say the same things. When a black woman said a black man embarrassed us, that's when they get so hurt about it. Oh, butt hurt. But they don't say nothing about the other killings that's going on in the black community. To me, I don't believe, I got to tell people, do not focus on race, focus on black femicide, which is at an all-time high. Any race can hurt a black woman, but nobody cares. But as soon as a race, people got stuff to say. And again, black men are embarrassing us because why are you saying this? Yes, that girl, she should have thought about this.
To be fair, we said horrible things about Telbo. I was one of them. I lit him up. But I feel like he said much more harsher things about us than Ashlee said about black men.
I agree. And then the embarrassment comment hurt them. I mean, hurt them to their core. But they said nothing about the other.
Pause. Are there any men who want to come up and combat what she's saying? I see a lot of men sounding the alarms in the comments, but y'all not clicking the link. I want to hear from a man next.
That's what I'm talking about.
On what you feel. But go ahead, Nikki. Continue.
And I would just say, I mean, I hate that this happened to her. I hate that when the other girl who got harmed in St. Martin, I hate that happened to her. And it's like we black women do need to be making better choices on who we select to go to. But stop saying nanny boo boo. That's what you get. But okay, so what happened to the other women? Is that what they get too because they marry black men? These black men will harm women who won't have an abortion, but they didn't use protection. Oh, so we're not gonna say nothing about them either? But when there's a white man, oh, that's when we gonna sound the alarm. And it hurts me because it's like we have no one to protect us. Just like Malcolm X said, we are the least respected. And like no one fights for us.
All right, so what were your thoughts about Talbot? Like, do you feel like you and I have a hypocritical stance as far as how the perception of Ashlee versus the perception of Talbot?
I feel they both should not have said certain things, but his was a little bit meaner. He actually degraded and belittled women. The comment about her wanting mixed kids, okay, it's a bunch of colorist men who want to have mixed kids. It's a bunch of white women who want to have mixed kids. Don't nobody care about having no mixed child. But she didn't say nothing disrespectful to them. And even though they kind of in the same boat, his is worse. And they got more men just like him who was worse, sir. They just had the court. They just had news flash that the woman who killed them, she's set free. She's not even gonna serve no jail time. No one said nothing about that. But that's gonna happen anyway, because at the same time, we black women are disrespected. Black men are also disrespected.
All right,
and I knew she was gonna get up anyway.
Raymond, did you have opposing view that you wanted to speak?
Yeah, I wanted to speak. You heard me?
All right, speak closer to the mic. Speak closer to the mic.
Hey, you can hear me better?
Speak closer to the mic.
You can hear me better?
It's the same. Speak closer to the mic.
Okay, hold on 1 minute. Let me see. Now you can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, what you were saying?
What's
what
your
you were
thoughts?
saying, Nick? Huh?
What's your thoughts?
Oh, I don't think. I mean, every black man ain't the same, you know.
Wait, what's that sound? It sounds like are you next to a fan or something?
No, I'm in a truck.
But it sounds like something is going rant, 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 rant.
Yeah, that's my work truck. But every black man ain't the same, you know, just like every black woman ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? And I followed Ashlee, God bless her dead, you know, rest in peace to the sister. And I heard a lot of stuff she was saying, but you know, it still wasn't right for her, you know, to be taken out the way she was taken out. You know, I'm not going to agree with that at all. You know, but as far as for the black man, every black man ain't the same.
What you feel about what Nikki said?
What you mean?
What did she say? Like, do you have any comment back to what she said?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know, Nikki just sounded like she just hate black men. She sounded like she.
No, I don't hate men. It's just that I see the way black men act, and I really need y'all to do better. Like I said, I have a black son, and I try to teach him how to be better, how to make better decisions, and stuff like that. It's like,
yes, ma'am.
Nikki,
I don't want black men.
You know, black men.
Ma'am, what you say?
In the comments, they asked, "Do you date black men?"
Yes, I date black men.
Are you dating black men currently right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It's just that black men have a lot of issues they need to take care of. And fussing and whining with women all day, saying nana and boo-boo is the least of their worries.
A lot of our black men, majority of, you know, I'm a little older, you heard me, and I've been there. A lot of them are very emotional. You know what I'm saying? And that's bad, you know, it's especially in the generation that we in. You know, you have a perk. You know, it is real. A lot of black men a lot of young black men are emotional. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's bad about it. But you know, it's not every black man. You know, you got some good black dudes out here. You know, I wasn't always a good black man. I wasn't always like this. You know, by the grace of God, I got older and I got wiser. But nah, man, I wasn't always like this. I wasn't always as humble as I am now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's not every black man. You got some good black dudes out there. You got some good black sisters out there. You got some you got some dirty black sisters out there. And you got some dirty black dudes out there. You know, it's just good versus evil, you know? And that's what it is. But we looking
Nikki,
you know,
they want to know if you in a relationship right now.
Who?
Nikki. I mean, wait, is her name Nikki?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
Oh.
that's what they were asking.
I also feel sorry for women who also agree with this negative rhetoric that men are doing. Y'all got to do better too.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the Ashlee thing, I mean, I know we're on the internet, but I think old boy did that. You know, because if that was my better half, and something happened, I'd be all over the place. You heard me? Man, it'd be up. You know, I wouldn't even be able to function. I mean, y'all finna supposed to get married, you know, and you just chilling.
But what about if people were accusing you of being the culprit, like accusing you of doing it?
Accusing me of doing it?
Like they're accusing him. They're accusing Joe of doing it. Like, would you be still all over the place or?
No, I'm saying if I was Joe. I was saying if I was Joe and that was my girl and mysterious, she just come up dead, unalived, and you don't know what happened, man. You supposed to be. I mean, nah, the mad thing mad.
All right, I'm gonna pause you. Well, I'm gonna pause you real quick. Michael, what's your thoughts?
All right, so first off, I want to say I love you, Unique. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Let me see. So, are you asking me about what happened to her, or are you talking about like the black women versus black men? Which part?
Anything. Like, what's your thoughts overall?
Okay, ultimately,
and what's
first
that
off,
sound
she's
in
like
the back? It's like a like.
It's like somebody's watching a game or something like that.
Oh, can you go to like somewhere more quiet?
Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right, is this better?
It sounds like you in a kitchen or a bathroom now, but go ahead.
All right, so pretty much, she's a very beautiful woman, and I understand what she was saying about black men because, you know, a lot of times black men don't know how to show love and whatever, and I don't think she should have said the careless things she said, but I feel like what black men don't understand is, like, we're the leaders of our community. No other community points to the women and says, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. I feel like if we showed our women that we can love them and respect them and care for them, they won't feel like they have to go elsewhere. So I feel like Ashlee was just a product of not feeling loved and embraced. So she went where she felt like she was loved. And I just feel like that's how it goes.
Okay. Just elaborate a little bit more because that's an interesting perspective, something that I lightly touched on, but go ahead.
All right, pretty much. I've been around black women my whole life. I'm a black man myself. I've heard a lot of insults like saying, okay, well, Latin women are better or black bitches. Oh, my bad. Black women, like I've heard negative things. Are
you in the bathroom?
Yeah, I am. Like, it's like I'm in a crazy little situation. I'm in a program right now because I battle depression. So I'm in the bathroom right now. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, so ultimately, like I've just heard negative things said about black women. I've seen black women treated negatively. And every time that it comes down to it, they'll just be like, oh, okay, well, black women this, black women that. And it's like no other community ever blames the woman for everything. It's like if we're the leaders, we're supposed to start and show the love, show the example, show what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to make our black women feel loved and appreciated and protected and, you know, all types of stuff like that. But we don't do it. And it's like no other community, like white men don't say, oh, our community is horrible because of white women. Like Asian men don't be like, oh, it's the Asian women. Latin men don't say, oh, it's the Latin women. We're the only community that points to the woman as the problem first when we're the leaders of our community.
Right. And I mean, I understand what you're saying because we've gotten away from being led by our men because of all the way back, you know, from slave times where the men were, you know, taken out of the leadership role, and then when it came to like the 80s, infiltrating, putting crack in the homes and dividing people from the Section 8 and all of the things where, you know, the black man and the black woman are divided. I feel like if we got back to a point where there were more black men in leadership, and, you know, it's so disappointing because when Dr. Umar first came out, it was like, okay, finally we got a black scholar who's speaking up, and then he turned out to be full of shit and a scammer. But, you know, like, we need somebody that has those leadership roles that can really be an example for black men to lead and have the women have more faith into the black man. So I get what you're saying, and hopefully, you know, everything works out for you in the program that you're in. I'm not sure, you know, the ins and outs of that, but hopefully you are on a, you know, a great trajectory and you are mitigating whatever that is. But yeah, I think that you have made some really valid points because there is a disconnect between the black man and the black woman and feeling safe and feeling seen and, you know, colorism and all of those things.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I love your hat. Like, it reminds me of Beyonce's song, Brown Skin Girl. Like, and I always love singing this, like, brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. You know, so like, thank you for wearing the hat too. And I love you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it, Michael.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
La Serena?
Yes. Sorry, I fought so hard to get up here.
What's your thought?
So I have a couple of comments. I had a little before when I was trying to get on, but after listening to the conversation, I have a lot more to say. First thing I want to say is, I think when we take in the media around the situation, we need to remember how we compare it to how we see things. Gabby Petito, it's very similar. It's a social media girl who was portraying a relationship on the internet, and something tragic happened. And immediately we see the signs, something was wrong. And now things are coming out where we realize something was really wrong. The same compassion the nation gave to Gabby Petito needs to be given to this girl. At the end of the day, no matter what she did, she got involved in something that she didn't see because he's a scammer. Yeah. He clearly was a predator. And maybe because of the things that she was going for, maybe they were superficial. This is a, what do you call it? This is a tale that is going to teach us something, you know? And that's how I look at it. Like, we're going to find out more. This is going to be a true crime documentary. And if we are, I like true crime documentaries and watch a lot. There's a lot of white people in it. It's not unique to them. Just as much as it's not unique to us. He is just simply a man, and she was with the wrong man. Yeah, he was white, but everybody's making it a white and black thing simply because they are an interracial couple. Because she's dead, that's neither here nor there right now. She was in a situation and he killed her. If that is what happened, if that's what it's pointing to, if that's true. His behavior is definitely raising red flags. My one problem is, the family, she clearly comes from a very well put together family, but they're being really, really nice to Joe. Is that his name? Mm-hmm. This man right now. When they hardly are commenting on him, and everything is just so vague. I don't know if that's because an investigation is underway and they've been told to be quiet, but like, it also reminds me of like Shanquella Robinson, where like the investigation is across the continent, and like, should they be quiet or should they be, you know, spreading
boots
the
on
dirt
the ground there, right?
Like, and that's you know,
maybe they didn't have a passport. You know, we gotta factor that in, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, they could probably have to like figure it out.
You know, I would get it expedited ASAP and be on the next thing.
I just wish they were a little bit more boisterous. Like, yo, he was doing this, and then, you know, we thought he was cool, but blah 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 blah. Like, I'm expecting that from them, but we haven't gotten that from them. We've gotten our friend on the internet that put him on blast. And why did she do it? Because the family wasn't saying enough. And, we'll see what happens, so I just have a lot of questions. Like, what were they arguing about? The family is like, oh, she called us and said they were separated in 2 rooms because they had such a bad argument. What was the argument? Like, did she tell you? Like, or did she just tell you nonchalantly, like, yeah, we're in a different room, we got an argument? I don't know. But maybe they're just grieving right now, and those things are going to come out, because also, if they really did trust this man, they're really hurting right now. When you put your daughter in and you trust the man that she brings home, she dated him for a year. Like, if that's what she said she was going to do, you're trusting her discernment. And they're hurting now because maybe they felt like they could have protected her more. Maybe they should have. Red flags are going to be there. If he was capable of this, there are red flags, and they're going to come out slowly. Now, there was the other conversation with Michael. I thought he said a lot of great things. And you spoke on something, yes, that I think the Black community needs to talk about way more. And that is our past. Yes, that we point to Black women and call them the problem, but also that's because we are the leaders of our people. Back in the day, because of slavery, our fathers were separated from us, and we were being raised by wet nurses and grandmas and mothers and aunts, and they were the ones that helped us get through. Harriet Tubman had the fucking Underground Railroad.
All right, the curse words.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Sorry, I was going on a tangent. I'm so sorry. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, women, we are the leaders. We need a Black man to stand up and be a leader. But also, in our past, they've been assassinated, taken out, and we're dealing with trauma. And I think that young men like Michael, they're getting there, but they need to read up and learn why we are where we are and why it's happening. Not to mention the Black lens that we have because of what the media feeds us. This girl, she's not on social media, or not social media, but media. The news is not covering it like they did Gabby Petito, because she's a Black girl. What happened to her was still tragic. And what she portrayed, nonetheless, people found acceptable. But this really beautiful, going somewhere Black girl, we know about it because the Black community on social media, and also the story, is what's keeping it alive. And, that's all I have to say.
All right.
Sorry,
thank you. And when you first were talking, I didn't think that you were Black, but you said that you're Black?
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
Raised around white people.
Oh, okay.
But I also am from a different country where I grew up when I was younger, and my first experience was around Black people. I grew up in a Black country. I grew up with the default person being the black, aesthetic. And then I moved to America, to a more white-centered place. But the difference was my accent got me made fun of. So I learned to speak American.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. We're going to go to Bianca, and then we have Unforgettable. Bianca? Are you there, Bianca? Renee? And Tank, thank you for the super chat. I seen that you said, you said, we appreciate you, Neek. # Black Barbie. Thank you so much. Unforgettable, hello.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What it do?
It's 1 2 1 2. Okay, my thing is this. What's wrong with having a preference? If a Black woman wants to date white men, what's wrong with that? As long as she's not putting down her race.
I think people had a problem with her saying that Black men were an embarrassment, and then her
I can't hear you, Neek.
That she wanted mixed kids, and then
Neek. All I see is your mouth moving. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, you can't hear me?
You mean go out and come back in?
Yeah. So go out and come back in if you can't hear me.
Nah. Oh my God. Okay.
All right. So, if anybody else wants to come up, then click the link, or we're going to be wrapping up pretty soon. The link is definitely pinned up. But Convicted Capitalist, I feel like he's trolling, but he says that Joe has always been a great guy. He believes Joe. Click the link. Don't be a little scaredy cat. You know, you stand with Joe. And I mean, I don't want anybody to feel like they can't voice their opinion. Just don't use a lot of curse words. If you feel like you stand with Joe and you want to give that POV, click the link. Don't be scared. We want to hear from you as well. Bianca, hello. Bianca going once. Bianca going twice. Hello. Unforgettable, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I guess when you drop somebody down, that's when it won't, I can't hear you anymore. But back to what I was saying, I don't see it wrong with somebody having a preference. Me, I like dark skinned guys. Okay. Chocolate. I'm talking about this chocolate. I don't find light skinned guys attractive at all. I don't want nobody that's older. You see what I'm saying, Nick? I'm just trying to say, what's wrong with a person having a preference? When I was growing up, my cousins used to come home with only white girls. Okay, one of my cousins has several kids with different white women, and that's all he wants. He said he does not find black women attractive, but I've never heard him put any black woman down. So what is the problem with her having a preference or her dating someone that she thought that had good potential?
I think like I said, I think the problem was her dating a white man and then saying that black men are embarrassing. So like, if I said black men are embarrassing and I'm dating black men, I don't think that it would be such a sting. But if you're dating a white man and you're making comments about black men, they're going to feel like a sellout, like you're a sellout, like you're speaking on us, but you're selling out and you're, you know what I mean? So it just doesn't get received well if you're dating out.
At all. It doesn't. And there have been situations where I can't believe you with a black guy, that you're with a white girl or you're with a black guy. You know what I mean, someone of another race. But that's who they want. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that we need to be focusing so much on that, she was dating a white guy. In my opinion.
But if we're gonna be real, when we see a black man dating a white girl and the white girl kills him, we gonna speak about it. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? So I mean, even though I'm not really holding her to the same pitchfork that I do the men, which is a little bit hypocritical of me, I ain't gonna lie. But I honestly didn't see her tweets as bad, but I can see why black men feel slighted. I'm not going to act like I don't understand why they feel like, girl, rest in preference or figure it out, or, you know what I mean? Because if you're dating a white man and you're speaking negatively on black men, it does feel some type of way. It's just like if a black man only likes light-skinned girls. Like, for instance, Blueface recently was at a club. This was like 2-3 weeks ago. He was at a club. And he was like, oh, I don't see any attractive dark-skinned girls. Like, I don't hardly see attractive dark-skinned girls. And it's like, all of your girls are ugly, and they're not really that cute. A lot of people give Krishan all these accolades, and they act like she looked like Lauren London, and she does not.
Not nowhere close.
Not in my opinion. I mean, she's not ugly, but she ain't as cute as they be trying to make her seem. And
she
it's
don't look like
each
Lauren
girl
London.
that you date, Blueface, is not even a dime. So how dare you speak on dark-skinned women and trying to act like they're not attractive when the girls that you date that are light-skinned ain't even all that. So, it just feels a particular way. It's like we all look at Blueface and we see who he date. We see that he don't date nothing darker than a paper bag. It's not hard to tell that he don't find dark-skinned women attractive. But when you start making comments about dark-skinned women and you start saying things and your girls ain't even all that, then it starts to feel a type of way. So when it comes to men, I'm not going to act like they're not going to feel a particular type of way of her saying that black men are embarrassing and you're dating a white man, and then it be the white man that brought you your demise. I'm not going to act like I don't understand why, you know, it's like, girl, now look, you know, it's not, I mean, I understand why race is such a big part or component.
Hey, Neek. Like I was just saying earlier, and I'm about to get out because I love this. This is a very nice live. It just, to me, I can't get over how men are just mad at the embarrassment part. Maybe it's not for me to know. But this is sad. I hope that her family gets the justice they need. That man had something to do with it, or he paid somebody to do it. So hopefully, you know, and I understand you talking about with the parents. They was just sitting there just looking. They wouldn't have no type of high emotion, like they really cared about their daughter. They're sitting here asking for money to help bring the daughter home. I just don't know what to say.
Thank you for coming up, Mr. Johnson, FBA. I guess you're foundational Black American. Click the link. I want to hear your perspective before we get out of there. Unforgettable, you didn't finish speaking. I'm sorry I cut you off, but
no, you broke that down. You kind of helped me with that one. But I wanted to remember earlier when we were talking, I mentioned to you, they said one moment he found her, Joe found her. Then the next moment they're saying now that like one of the concierges found her, or somebody that a room attendant. Who found her?
The medical report says he found her.
Because from the live, what's the thing called, the press conference, I told you the other content creator said that she had someone that speaks that language break it down for her, and that they said that someone else found her.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see that video. I can only go off of BBC news. They say they showed the medical report. I mean, one of the news stations showed like the medical report says that he found her. That's all I know. I don't know anything else other than that.
Okay. Thank you, Neek.
Thank you, boo. Tank, what's up? Glad to hear from another Black man. What's your thoughts?
Oh shoot! Hey, Neek, hold on. Let me do this again. I think something went wrong with my. I don't know. I got to go back out and come back in because I think the same thing happened to me with the sound. I'll be back. Okay.
StreamYard, it costs too much money for it to have all these glitches. They need to get it together. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, y'all need to, I actually need to write them like, I need a discount because y'all got way too many glitches for how much y'all charge. But in the meantime, if y'all have not hit the like button yet, I cannot believe that I've been on live this long, and how many likes do we have? I need to write them like I know that it don't say that we got 536 likes and it's like all of y'all watching. That ain't adding up. And if y'all ain't hit the hype, use your hype points. I mean, really? What's it giving? I don't know. Mr. Johnson and Tank, you guys will be the last two callers. We got some Black men on the line. I'm gonna go to Tank and then I'm gonna go to you, Mr. Johnson. Tank, what's were you saying?
Yes.
What's going on? Can you hear me?
You can hear me now a little bit.
Yeah, we can hear you. One second, Mr.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
All right. I think, hello? I don't know. I'm so sorry, Neek. I can't hear nothing.
Can you hear me, Tank?
Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna step down because I can't hear y'all.
I think when I bring somebody up, it messes up. Hold on, let me see if I bring him down. Can you hear me, Tank? Oh my goodness. StreamYard is glitching.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, he listening to me from my live. Mr. Johnson, go out and come back in. We might have to end it, y'all, because it's messing up. He need to go out and come back in. So yeah, it's been real. Hopefully, we'll get them. I'm gonna probably transition from StreamYard, and I'm gonna have to go to another platform to take calls because StreamYard has way too many glitches, and the only thing I really use it for is to take calls, and it's always tripping. Like, if y'all got another platform, let me know because StreamYard is playing games. Let me drop the link one more time so that they can come back up, and then we'll be out after we hear from them. Hopefully they come back up. Mr. Johnson, hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay. What's your thoughts?
Man, we heard a lot tonight, and I gotta be honest with you. I mean, I don't know. I forgot her name, but one of them callers sounded a little bit bitter. She said she had a man, but I don't know.
I think it was either Paige or Nikki, one of them, but go ahead.
Yeah, so my thing is, and I mean, just in general, is, rest in peace to Ashlee Jenae. It's real tragic what happened to her. I don't agree with that. I know she's online. It looked like she's made some comments that, that's kind of derogatory to Black men, but she still didn't deserve that. Other than that, I mean, we all just got to give grace to each other, as Black men and women. I mean, it shouldn't be a gender war, and we just need to love each other.
All right.
That's all I got.
Are you single?
I am.
Okay. And because you made a comment in the comments and you said, I've dated a Black woman before and she wasn't a good woman or something like that, but you still wanted to date. Like, elaborate on that. What were you saying?
Yeah, so that's the thing too. A lot of times when we speak about our previous relationships, we're speaking about the people we chose. And so a lot of times, the people that we choose, we tend to generalize and think that, and even if you've made multiple bad choices in a partner, we tend to generalize and think that, oh, well, this is how, Black men are or Black women are. And I think when we speak on relationships, we need to preface it by saying the people that we've chose. Like, I've chosen, I've been in relationships and some were good, some were bad, some I messed up, some the other person messed up. But at the end of the day, I love Black women, and that's all I want to date.
Okay. And I'm like, what Mr. Johnson look like? We don't know, but he sound like he might be cute, y'all. I
got you on the Cash App, nigga. Don't worry about it.
I'm not saying that for no Cash App. I'm just saying he sound like he might be cute. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted you to elaborate on that. If I pull Tank up and it messes up, because it may mess up, because they say when I pull somebody else up, it messes up. Go out and come back in, Mr. Johnson, because we might want to talk to you some more. But I'm gonna pull Tank up really quickly. Tank, hello.
All right, can you hear me good now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hey, Neek, hello. How are you doing?
Good,
So good to see you, sis.
you?
Like the black Barbie you are. It's so good to see you.
Thank you.
Y'all in these comments got me hollering. I just want to come and give a little bit of instance on this. Me being I'm a Black gay man, so let me just make reference to that. So I can't speak for all Black straight men, but I will say for this: women's DV is something that sometimes people really don't understand how deep it is. Because I've been in a situation where, I definitely get where women come from, but in this situation, I feel like that Mr. Joe probably did it. I know what Convict saying, but I feel like he probably did it. But it all costs. Judge Mathis said one time, y'all, that it takes about 2 years to find out whether somebody is a crackhead or not. So it takes you a while to find out who a person really, really is. So this is kind of really like a each one, teach one, buy one type of thing that like we can all learn from. And I get what black men are saying, but black men always get like a lot of strife anyway these days for not being good enough, this and that. And then it's systematic as well, because a lot of times a lot of people are raised to feel like, even in our culture being black, that white is better. White is this, white is that. So who knows the way that she was raised? I don't think some of the comments that, that was made on her post were right, yet funny, very funny. But I understand both sides of it. You played a clip earlier. I've been watching the whole live. The first clip you played with the lady that was breaking it down, that clip was it was very explanatory, because it explained so much. Because if you say something about a culture of people or and then something like this happens, yes, those comments are going to be, in this environment we in right now with the administration that we under and everything that's going on, and you know how stuff is, yeah, it's gonna be comments like that, So, but rest in peace to Ashlee, whatever. But y'all out there, man, it don't matter who you with. You have to try them, learn them, but it don't travel out the country with a person you just met 6-7 months ago. That's not enough time to get to know nobody. It's just not. A year is not enough time for me. I need like a good solid 2 years or more to kind of see how you are. I need to see you with a bad, good, stress,
is that realistic though? Waiting 2 years to go out the country with somebody you dating?
In these days, yes, because people they hide behind social media. Nobody is real no more these days. You gotta see you a real one. People can tell you're real by your energy, the way you are. You are a real person. So yes, I would mind coming out there and I go visit, the city and say, okay, I could be with Nick. I feel safe. Yeah. But in this instance, I feel like Joe needed Ashlee, and Ashlee didn't understand how much Joe needed her, because Ashlee was influencer. She was beautiful. And she gave this man credit. He had a business and he needed to look good in the limelight. And him and her on his arm, she really did. It made him look good. So, investors are investing into him and stuff like that. She didn't realize that she was really being played in a way. And that's the sad part. And then, with the comments that she was making previously before that, she should have been looking a little bit deeper, because I ain't no way to where I'm finna go across the world with no man like that.
Somebody in the comments said, do you date white men?
No, that's not my preference. Now, I'm not going
That's what somebody in the comments said. That's what they said.
That ain't my preference right there. You know what I'm saying? I don't go over there like that. You know what I'm saying? I have been in the interaction. They skin smell a little bit different, doing activities. So, but I stick on my side of things. But even in my world, people do mixed date. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with mixing and dating and all this and all that, but at the same time, black women, for me being a gay man, if I was straight, I would have a lot of kids. No lie. Black women are just gorgeous to me personally, just to me personally. But and then to me, I know black men are gorgeous, but to some black women, it's just not. But a lot of times, society, media, things like that, they kind of teach us to think weirdly about ourselves. So who knows the reason why she was really the way she was, because she could have got her heart broke by a black dude, and then why she went over there, it was a mistake. But again, she should have not went out no country with that man. Didn't work out. But anyway, it's good to see you. That's all I wanted to come say. So y'all just try one by one, and
make sure y'all go follow him. He has been knocking out content on his channel and things like that. Tell them where they can find you on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I just celebrated. Shout out to all the new subs I just made the 25K. You can find me on Tank Talks TV 1, and you know what I'm saying. I got some new stuff coming out this week, but yeah, I just want to come tell you that. And yeah, it's so good to see you, Black Barbie. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all like my girl post. Bye.
I appreciate you. All right, back to Mr. Johnson. Hello, is you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. What's up?
The people in the comments said you sound like you might be fine, and I said he do sound cute, y'all. And he said he's single. I mean, this ain't no dating show or whatever, but
What's up? What's going on? You looking good tonight. Let me say that. I don't think I said that. You looking lovely as usual.
Thank you. I'm trying to see what you look like. You know what I'm saying? You ain't turned that camera on. But yeah, so just finish elaborating on how you felt about the topic or whatever. And if you just want to turn the camera on in the background, they ain't gotta see you, but I'm trying to. But anyway, finish elaborating on what you feel like about the topic.
Yeah, like I said, it's sad all the way around, and I hope they do get justice for it, because anytime something happens, and that's either to Black women or Black men, as far as at the hands of the others, and even each other. I want justice, so I hope that they're able to get to the bottom of it. I think it's looking like he has something to do with it. And yeah, my thing is too, why isn't the media talking about this now? I think TMZ did something, but I don't really see a lot of local news stations talking about this. That's what's
BBC did an article on it. ABC 7 did an interview with the parents. Yahoo News, they had it on there. ABC 7, ABC 6. So different ABC networks have done it. People Magazine talked about it. All the major websites have spoke about it.
So they've spoke about it, but they've spoke about it, just pertaining to who she was. Nobody is really questioning who this man is. We know that he was in crypto. My thing is, if it was the other way around, if a Black man killed a white woman, they would know the man's family, relatives. They'd be talking about if his parents went to jail. It would be more in-depth look into the person's background. I feel like they just covered the surface with what is it, McCann or Joe, whatever his name is.
Yeah. And we don't really know if he's really wealthy. A lot of people keep saying like, oh, it's like, how many people got businesses? How do we know just because he was the CEO like that he's truly wealthy? Like, I'm not convinced that he was as wealthy as people are trying to say either.
Yeah, and I think that's something that they've said. That's something I keep hearing. My thing is, when I first heard it, I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is what I thought. I thought that maybe, the whole time when they were away, maybe she might have told him that she was pregnant, and maybe he didn't want the child, and so that's why that happened. But like I said, that was before
they just got engaged though.
But see,
it's not like she was a side chick. Like, he was publicly with her.
He was publicly with her, but those, like, I believe it was you. I think you said the pictures look real. Like they just look choreographed. Like it looked real
curated.
Yeah, curated. Yeah. So like, were they really together, or was it just for her? For her social media thing, for her soft life thing. But like I said, I really do hope they get justice though, because at the end of the day, this is, it's tragic, and she was a very beautiful young lady. Sad that she went out that way, but that's who she chose.
Somebody said get that ex-wife. I gotta look her up. They said her name is what, Shay Johnson or something like that. We gotta look up the ex-wife and get into her gig, because we definitely need to understand, like, is he really, really, really this guy that's making bad investments, or like, what's his tea? Like, is he really wealthy or what? Because Mr. Johnson is right. Like, normally in these cases, we would have the person's family's full background. We would know about aunties, sisters, cousins, all kind of stuff. We don't really know anything but about Joe. Like, and now this alleged wife, but
Right. I think the media is all on code with that. That ties into a lot. We know who's our president. We know who's, it's really deep, I think. why they're not really doing a deep dive on this man's background like they would anybody else.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, thank you so much. The people are disappointed that you didn't cam up even in the background.
I'm gonna come on camera next time. I'll be ready for you. I'll be ready. I'll be camera ready next time. How about that?
Okay. And then somebody in the comments said, well, how do we know he's straight? I mean, I didn't ask that. Are you straight? They wanted to know that too.
Man, of course, you shouldn't even have to ask that. Of course I'm straight.
I mean, it's 2026. You never know. Just because you sound like you might be straight, don't mean that you really are.
No, ain't no DL, ain't none of that. No, and I know you. I guess you have majority. So, what is your demographic? You have majority women on your channel. I mean, I've been following you
women.
since. You said it's equal.
No, mostly women. I have mostly women.
Okay. So that's probably where the misunderstanding coming. But no, no. I've always loved women, and I ain't never. I mean, laying in the bed with another, nah.
And they want to know if you got Instagram.
Yeah, you can follow. You can follow me on Instagram, Mr. Johnson FBA. I got them crazy eyes, but it is what it is.
You got crazy eyes.
Yeah, I got crazy eyes.
Mr. Johnson FBA. I'm about to look it up. Hold on. Mr. Johnson FBA with crazy eyes. Mr. Johnson. Is it an underscore somewhere?
It's underscore, right? Underscore after Johnson.
I gotta see this real quick. You said with crazy eyes.
I ain't crazy eyes, but that's what one of my exes told me that.
And we talking about Joe had crazy eyes, and you saying, hold on, wait, let me see this real quick. Mr. Johnson FBA. Why it say your page is private?
Oh, well, I'll open it up. I ain't got nothing to hide.
I mean, you do got crazy eyes now. You look like you got them same kind of eyes that Joe got, where it looked like
nah.
you do look a little scary a little bit. I am not gonna lie.
Look, you can. I'm on Facebook too, so Facebook, you probably can see more pictures on Facebook.
Did you open up this page? I just clicked on it again. It still say private.
Hold on, yeah, I'm on the phone with you. I'm thinking if I leave, I'll mess around and cut you off. But I'm gonna open it up though. We ain't gonna hold the audience up like that.
Yeah, this is one of them ones. I would have seen this picture and I would be like, red flag. You sound cute. I mean, you're not ugly, but you do look like you will smack a hoe.
It's all good. Nah, I don't, I mean, if you smack me first, I'm gonna smack you back. But I mean, other than that.
Are you in law enforcement? They want to know if you're a police officer.
No, no. I'll soon be retired military here.
Oh, that's what that look is. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's that military aggressive.
Yeah. We crazy too.
His profile picture looked like he's saying "Roar."
Really? So you putting sound effects to it too? That's what we doing, Nick? Huh? Huh?
I'm just playing. Nah, you cool peoples.
That's what's up.
You cool peoples. You're handsome. You are a handsome guy, but you do look mean though. Like you do look mean, but you are handsome.
I appreciate that. And
nice lineup. You got all your follicles. It looks like you got all your hair follicles. You're not bald. You got a nice structure of the face. Your eyebrows is nice. You look like you take care of yourself and groom yourself and everything. Just
stay
a little,
in the gym.
Just a
stay in the gym.
Just a little smacker chick-ish, but
gotta keep him in line, Neek. Come on now. No.
Somebody said, what's his Instagram? His Instagram is Mr.Johnson_FBA.
I gotta open it up. I
And
gotta
it's a
open it up.
private
It's
Instagram,
private, but
so all we can see is his profile picture.
I'm gonna open it up. But
All
I don't
right.
want to.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. Keep your hands to yourself, Mr. Johnson. And I
Same
appreciate
to
you
you.
supporting the channel.
All right then.
All right. All right, y'all. It's been an amazing live. I appreciate y'all so much for coming up. And if anybody else wants to donate to the Cash App Fund show, here's my Cash App. If y'all want to donate, if y'all enjoyed the live, and if you guys want me to cover this story some more, let me know. The only thing when it comes to stories like this where everybody's covering it, I'm gonna be honest, I start to get not really interested. Like, I like the diamond in a rough stories where like not a lot of people are covering it. You know, like when I first covered this story, there wasn't really a lot of people covering it. Now everybody and their mama, people that don't even cover stories like this, are covering it. So I kind of get a little like disinterested. You know, I like the little like one-off stories. So, I mean, if there is any like major updates, I'll cover it. I am going to break off some of the segments. Like maybe I'll break off and make like the part where Joe Budden was speaking about her its own dedicated video, or like, you know, so if you see parts of this video uploaded, definitely show it some love as well. And what do you guys think about people like me who covered Telbo Rackens, the black man who his white girlfriend killed him, and I had a lot of things to say about him, right? Like, I had a lot of not nice things to say about Telbo, and I really ripped him a new one. But I honestly feel like he said some things that were not like Ashlee. But what do you think about the people who, or the women like myself, who have all of these things to say about black men who are off by black women, but are not necessarily keeping the same energy for black women who are unalived by white men? Or do you think that it's the same? Or do you think that it's different? Somebody said, stop watching other people and you won't know who covering it. Girl, I haven't even watched these people's videos. I just so happened to click on Trent Out Loud's video earlier because it was something in his title. I thought like it was new information that I didn't know, but the only thing I got from it was the Iggy thing. I didn't know that, but everything else I had already heard. But I don't be clicking on these people's video, but it's down my timeline. As I go and scroll, everybody's down my algorithm. Like, you don't even have to click on their videos to know that they're covering it, because once you put up a video and you put Ashlee in your video, then anybody else who put Ashlee in their video, it's all coming down your timeline. So it's not to bash anybody. It's just, I don't necessarily, like, when it came to what's the story of the girl from here, Celeste and David, right? I covered the Celeste and David story, but when the whole world start covering Celeste and David, I wasn't interested in covering that much, even though Celeste was from California, she was from the IE, she was, you know, like, it was a sad, tragic story. This young girl, she's dating a rapper, da-da-da-da. I covered it, but then once everybody start covering it and then people start lying on the story and people started to just start making up headlines and start lying and start clickbaiting, I wasn't interested in the story anymore. Not to diss anybody who covered it, but you know what I mean? Like, when it be these type of stories and then everybody's covering it, so then when it's a story that everybody's covering it, people want the views, so then they start clickbaiting and then they start lying. That's when I be feeling like, you know. But anyways, if there is anything else like that comes up, if he actually gets arrested, or if there is actually, certain things, we will be back covering it. Interview the ex. I don't know what her social media is. I seen pictures of her and Joe together. They were like in a living room, but I don't even know what her actual page is. If y'all know her social media, like her actual page other than just her name, then let me know. And I'll talk to y'all later. I get it. It's an Aquarius thing. We don't like to be on what everybody else is on. Right. You said, but we want to hear your perspective. Okay. I'm going to keep up with the story. I'm going to keep up with it. I'm going to keep up with it for y'all. She said, that's why I only watch certain people. I would watch the same story covered by my 5 faves. All right. I'm going to keep up with it for y'all. But I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to clickbait y'all. I'm not going to make up stuff. If there is nothing really new, then, that's just, y'all get it. But anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Thank y'all so much. And if there's any other stories that y'all want me to cover, I'm trying to be more consistent